Hey guys, this is Candy with another story for you. I mean what I say and I say what I mean. This one's about me today. Just when I was out there living my life. This one is going to be about when I got caught one time at Party Place. I got caught by like 3 people at the same time. It was ridiculous. But anyway, so at this moment, I was 18. I met some guy named Jesse. He lived down the street. I think it was 11th Street, where we lived down. My mom lived at that moment, you know what I mean? And I would dance and I would get my own place and I would do my own thing, and sometimes I would quit. And that time I was like, I quit. I wanted to get a regular job. Sometimes you get tired of it, the whole hustle and bustle of it. So I quit, you know what I mean? And I went to go chill at my mom's for a second. Always loved my brother. We're walking to the store. I guess he saw us. He drove back to his house because he lived maybe like 4 or 5 houses from my mom's. And he stood there as we walked back and he was like, hey, what's up? Do you want to come kick it? And it had already been like a week or 2 that I hadn't been in the club. I hadn't been out. I hadn't talked to nobody. So I thought to myself, why not? You know what I mean? So I went back. I chilled with him. His first, I guess, baby mama, his first supposed to be wife, but they never got married, left. So I guess he was real heartbroken, and so he kind of like stuck to me real quick, you know what I mean? I was 18. I kind of liked all the attention, you know what I mean? 18, 19, kind of liked all the attention. He wanted to get married. Of course I didn't want to get married. You know, I wasn't there yet, but anyways, he kind of made it seem like that's where we're gonna head to. So what's the difference? We got married. Real quick, I got bored of the life. I had the 2 step kids, but I'm 19. I'm 19, and I left the house. Like I was like gonna turn 17. I left the house. I started going to Del Mar to try to get my high school diploma. They had some program there before I was 18. I was gonna turn 18 soon though. And I met some swinger couple, and I was already out there like hustling for my smoke and doing little things. I wasn't at the level of dancing yet, like making real big money yet at that moment. But I was at that moment when I was in college, I'm saying I wasn't making big money. I was hustling little tiny stuff. But then once I was in dancing, I was making a lot of money. You know what I mean? So there's a big difference. But I got bored of the whole scene of just being home, taking the kids. Like I said, he didn't give me a chance to want it myself. You know what I mean? And stay because I wanted to, or leave because I wanted to, what have you. So anyways, it was a bit much for me, I guess. I don't know. The kids were a bit rambunctious, so I guess it was just a bit much to me. I told him I'm going to start working with my uncle out of town. But what I was really doing, I was really going to Party Place and working for like, I told him I'd work for the weekend, but I would work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Saturday, because Sunday we're closed. I'd work those 3 days, the crunch days, you know what I mean? And I hooked up with my old person that, I guess sugar daddy, I guess, you know what I mean? That he bought me my first car, a Porsche T-Top. And then he bought me my second car, a Cougar. He bought me another car after that. But he wasn't the only person that bought me a car. When you're in the club, you get a lot of people and guys, girls, couples that want to do for you. You know what I mean? That are down for you. Anyways, I went back to the club. I was talking to Alfonso, and I was married at home, living the week. And then, like I said, Thursday I would leave. Say I was going out of town with my uncle. I was really going with Alfonso to the he would rent a room at Travel Lodge. It was a really nice place. We would rent a room out there, and then of course I would go dance, come back and chill with him, blase blase. I got my ride, you know what I mean? I told my husband that I was doing it to get a car, but I knew he was going to give me a car because he told me he was, and he's not like a liar, so I knew he'd already gotten me a car, so I knew he was going to. So I went back and I danced. at the same time, I had this part-time job at Sonic right before I started to go to the club. And I met this person named James. He's a really cool guy, hella cool guy. And I don't know, we hit it off. And I took him to my best friend, Jonathan's, and they hit it off. And so I would go to his house and kick it with him. But after a while, I left. You know, after a while, everything ended the way it ended. But anyway, so those are the three players that I was talking about, right? So I went to the club, a normal night. There's a manager named Larry there. That, man, he didn't like me for some reason. And I swear, I think it's because I used to tease him and ask him if he was like gay or something, because he never brought a girl to the club. Like, never. Oh, no. He brought one girl to the club. I think this is why, yeah. He brought one girl to the club. And she was like, trying to sit on people's lap, talking about, give me $1, give me a cigarette, give me a shot, blase, blase. But by the end of the night, the girl was face first by the dumpster. We have like a dumpster in the back. We go to the back and there's like this little hidden part where you can smoke. But there's a dumpster like across right there. She was by the dumpster, right by the dumpster. Like, this is the dumpster's edge. Her head was like right here, face first into this is her front of the face. She was face first into the thing like this. Asleep. And I remember when I went to the back to smoke, I ran. I was excited to tell Larry because we didn't like each other. I went and I told Larry, your girlfriend's out by the dumpster. Face first into the dumpster, you know what I mean? He was like, shut up, Candy. Like, you know, you've been fucked up before and you've done crazy shit before and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Anyways, that fool didn't like me. So my husband came with a picture of me and he was like, hey, I think this is my wife's car. Like, is this girl here? And Larry was quick, you know what I mean? He was like, yeah, she's working weekends, her name's Candy, she just left with someone else. Okay, out of those three guys, I had met somebody at the club that I hadn't seen in a long time. And I'm not giving myself excuses, but back then, I was single for a long time, and I met a lot of people. And I remember, I hadn't seen him in a long time. He was one of those that would come into town and, like, you know what I mean, be in town just for a couple of days. He'd see me automatically. He'd hand me 100, just because we're at the club. Like, you know what I mean? We're at the club and he knows what's up. Like, we're trying to make money. He'd hand me 100, and he'd be like, just sit with me for like 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Buying my time. And he'd still buy me ladies drinks and all that stuff. Like, he had money. A lot of people I messed with had money. I rarely messed with broke people. And I'm not saying I did it on purpose. A lot of times I just got lucky. But anyways, yeah, so I saw him and I was like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? And blase, blase, he was like, hey, let's go to the room. And I was like, hell yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I hadn't seen him in a minute and I was excited to see him. I was like, let's go, you know what I mean? I was, I'm gonna leave my ride here and you take me and then you come bring me back. You know what I mean? Once I wake up or whatever. So we went to the room. You know what I mean? We did our thing. We chilled and, you know, did what we were going to do there. And I fell asleep. You know what I mean? You don't have to, when you like people and you do things like that, you go to sleep if it's good. So I went to sleep for a couple hours. I left like around 8 or 9. So like when I got back, it was like 11. Alfonso was expecting me around 12. You know what I mean? Or 11 or 12. So I think I was a little late, to be honest, because I remember getting up and be like, hey, I gotta go back. I gotta go. Like, I gotta go. And he was like, damn, hold up. Like, one more time. Like, one of those things, you know what I mean? But I was like, nah, I gotta go for real. I'll see you tomorrow. You know what I mean? Come tomorrow. We'll chill again, all that good stuff. We don't even have to chill at the club. We'll come straight over here, whatever. So anyways, yeah, so he's taking me back in his truck. I remember it's a truck. So we go back in his truck. Thank God. Thank God Larry didn't know what I was in. Or I don't know, like I had like a good 2 minutes thing. So I remember I went and I, like, you know, made out with them, kissed them. Bye. Bye, boo boo. So like I get out the car, I jump into my ride, which is something you like, you know, you get out the car, you jump into your ride, you're ready to go. I jump into the ride, like, I put the keys in the ignition, right? And then all of a sudden I hear like, you know, when someone on the window, like, boom, you know what I mean? And I turn around, I see my husband at that moment. Not my husband right now, of course, but my husband at that moment when I was 18. And I was like, click, click. Lock the door. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Like, damn. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn. How does he know? Like, I thought I was such a good liar. I manipulated that shit just right. I mean, I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. Like, I got this. You know what I mean? I mean, it already been like a few months where I've been doing it. He yelling through the window. He talk about, my friend saw you. And he told me, I came by to look and I saw your car, dog. Why couldn't you park in the back at least, fool? Like, he's telling me, I'm parked right in the front of the fucking parking lot. I'm 19, remember, I'm telling you this. So I'm parked right in the front, I guess, in the mix of all the cars. I guess I figured he wouldn't notice, really, when people just pass by. You know what I mean? Unless he was going there to be there. Anyways, he talked about my friend saw you. I don't know if he was going on his own or what. Like, I don't really know the right story. You know what I mean? I just knew I was caught. Me. He talked about, yeah, I showed your picture. Larry told me everything. He told me all the days you coming, all the nights you working. He's told me everything, right? At the same time, James, excuse me, out of nowhere, James was supposed to come, like, see me, or I don't know if he was supposed to see me at the club or what, because it's really a long time ago. But he was there, and he comes on the other side of the window, and he's like, hey, well, this is it. You said you don't want your husband. You say you don't want to be with them. Like, make a decision now, though. Come home with me. We'll go get your stuff later. Like, make a decision now. I want to be with you. Like, I want to be with you. I don't care if you dance, or I don't care what you're doing. Like, as long as you come home to me, I want to be with you. Like, let's be together. Leave him. You said you don't like him. You don't want to be with him. All this blase, blase. Talking this, talking that. Like, let's go. Like, he knows now. Let's go. Let's do this. So, at the same time, my husband's like, nah, you ain't taking my wife. That's my wife. You know what I mean? Like that song. You may have had her once, but I had her all the time. He's like, that's mine. That's mine. It ain't, no. He's, I'm taking that home, and I'm going to talk to her, and she ain't going to come back over here no more. You know what I mean? At the same time, remember, like I said, Alfonso's supposed to pick me up. You know what I mean? Like, well, not pick me up, but he meets me there, and then we drive to, like, Denny's or something and eat, and then we drive to the room, and, you know, we chill. He's an older guy, so everything's mad chill with him. You know what I mean? So he gets out the car, you know what I mean? Like, super coolo. I'm in the car. I'm physically in the car he bought me. He bought me this car. You know what I mean? So he comes around, I don't know. He comes around James. He doesn't go around Jesse. He comes around James, and he's like, hey, she'll be back in my place later. He's like, he knocked on the thing. He goes, hey, I'll be at the room waiting for you. And he said, ooh. He said, you better fix this. Because he didn't know either. Nobody knew nothing. Nobody knew nothing. You know what I mean? So he's like, you better fix this, man. You know what I mean? So I was like, alright. They're yelling. Everybody's yelling. Alfonso's just like, I'll meet you at the room real calm. He's yelling like, let's go, let's go. Like, quit fucking around. Open the door for me. Let me in. Or come with me out. You know what I mean? James and Jesse's yelling like, come on, let's go home. Open the door. Let's go. Like, quit messing around. It's like, so I sit there and I start rolling a smoke. A cigar. You know what I mean? I start rolling it. Like, I rolled it real fast. Rolled it like always. Rolled it. I light it. I start smoking. I smoked for maybe like 3-4 minutes before I started reacting to all that going on. Larry's around the corner like laughing, saying, yep, she's been here. She's been working. I wouldn't even give her a chance. I wouldn't even let her come home. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But these fools don't stop. They won't stop. They're like, blah, 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 on each side. Alfonso done took off and left. You know what I mean? The other guy that I was meeting, he stood around for a minute, just for a second. And he just came out to he just went to the back window and he like went boom, boom. He's like, are you all right? And I said, you know what I mean? Like, I'm all right. You know what I mean? And he was like, I see you tomorrow. I see you tomorrow. He gets in his truck, he burns off. You know, Alfonso's already gone, so now it's just James and Jesse, like, flip, 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 you know what I mean? Anyways, I don't open the door for neither one of them. Halfway through, I start my car up. I said, all right, back up. I'm gonna let you in. And they don't know who I'm talking to, right? So both of them back up. I burn off, right? And I burn off. At this moment, you know what I mean? Of course, Jesse's blowing me up on the phone. He's like, hey, what's up? Like, go home, blah, 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 blah. I go to my mama's house. And I'm like, hey, I tell her the whole story like I just told you, and I'm like, damn, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't really like James, you know what I mean? He was just for fun, like always. When you're not satisfied at home, you always like do something just for fun, but sometimes that's something you want just for the moment, and sometimes you do like go with that and leave the person you're with, but at that moment that wasn't the case. Alfonso was nothing I wanted serious either. He was someone that just helped me when I was around the bender and dancer, and you know what I mean? He would help me out a lot. Just certain people would really break real big bread, and those are the people you tend to like be like, yeah, I'm gonna keep him on my note list, I'm gonna keep him on my, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be good to that fool. He's gonna treat me right whenever I'm in need or something, you know what I mean? And he would work all week and just come on the weekends, so it was real cool. Like, you know what I mean? I get to live my own life and, you know, talk to him for like 1 day or 2 days out of the weekend, or those days if I'm, you know what I mean? And I get a car, apartment, my rent paid, whatever. It was the only one. There's a lot of people. You're wrong, but at that moment it was Alfonso. So, anyways, I go home and I'm like. And Jesse's like, well, you're gonna come home or not? Like, you know what I mean? I want to be with you. Like, come home. I didn't want to be with James. And Alfonso was like, well, if you go home, you're not gonna have a car. And I'm like, man, I got a car. I got a car at the house. It's just that at that moment, he hadn't switched it to my name. After that, because I did leave, I wasn't satisfied with that relationship, so I did leave that husband, like, maybe not even a month or 2 after that. Should have kept the car. So anyways, I gave the car back at that moment. It wasn't in my name, but after that, I gave the T-top Porsche back. But after that, the cars after that, I would get them in my name immediately. I learned my lesson from that situation. But yeah, that's the story of me getting caught by not 1, not 2, but 3 people while I was on a date with someone else. Living the good life, man. Man, I love dancing. It was so fun. Gonna be a lot of different stories on here. But anyways, that's just one of me getting caught by my first husband at the party place. Larry being a snitch, like always, just because he don't like me. But anyways, I hope you like the story. Bye.